morning, everybody, and welcome as we have a very exciting announcement to make for the Jamaica racing industry. My name is Solomon Sharp. I'm the Executive Chairman of Supreme Ventures Racing and Entertainment Limited. I'd like to say Caymanas Park. To my extreme right, we have Richard Longmore, General Manager, CEO, Head Cook and Bottle Washer at the Jamaica Racing Commission. To my immediate right, we have Derek Smith, former Member of Parliament, former Minister, well-esteemed individual, now Commissioner at the Jamaica Racing Commission. To my extreme left, we have Denzel Miller, Racing Secretary, Caymanas Park. And to my immediate left, we have none other than multi-Jamaica Racing Commission Hall of Fame inductee in about 10 categories. Next category is going to be in the area of stallion. Philip Fiani, who needs no introduction to racing. Without further ado, I'm going to hand over to the Jamaica Racing Commission to tell us what is exciting and what's back. Thank you. I'm supposed to pass them off now.
Thank you, Chairman. Morning to everyone, but I must recognize some individuals on the platform here with me. My name is Derek Smith, Deputy Chairman of the Jamaica Racing Commission. I'm deputizing this morning for the Chairman, who is unavoidably absent. Of course, I'd love to recognize our long-standing Racing Secretary, Mr. Denzel Miller, Jr. As the Chairman said, beside Mr. Miller, we have individual I call the maestro. You know, we've been in racing a long time, and this is one of the outstanding pillars of local racing for decades, Mr. Philip Fiani. I must also recognize my general manager, Mr. Richard Longmore, who is the general manager of the Jamaica Racing Commission. This morning, I'm told that we are gathered here to make an announcement, Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
The announcement relates to the reintroduction of the Diamond Mile. And I am so elated to be associated with that announcement for very obvious reasons. I've been a long-standing owner in terms of the racing. In fact, this year is my 50th year. I've not been successful, notwithstanding I've won some important races. And of course, one of the important races that I've won is the Diamond Mile. And in fact, I've won it twice, 2015 and 2016. So you can see how happy I am. This is prior to the Motor Mile, this has been the premier race for other than, of course, the classics. And we are very happy that the Racing Commission has decided to, again, cooperate and work with the promoters, Supreme Ventures and Racing Entertainment Limited, to bring this race back. I don't have all the details of the conditions, but I suspect the Chairman will outline that a little later on. But it is my really great pleasure this morning to, as I said, represent the Racing Commission. We look forward to our continued excellent working relationship with our promoters. And we'd like to congratulate them for so early in the new year, bringing excitement, additional excitement to the racing industry. And I would like to believe that this is a prelude to other exciting announcements that will be made by Supreme Venture Racing Entertainment Limited to the racing stakeholders during this 2026, because we are all looking forward to further exciting announcements. I don't want to go into the details this morning. I allowed the chairman to do that. So it has been my great pleasure to be associated with this presentation.
Thank you, Vice Chairman. It's not easy to sit among such esteemed individuals and have to follow in their footsteps. But I'd like to say a massive thank you to the Jamaica Racing Commission and to the BJLC for recognizing that where racing is today and where we're going to take racing and all the other excitement. And with all the demands from the racing public, from the racing personnel, through and through, you know, I would have had conversations many a times with Mr. Fiani, and just recently I had a big smile on my face when somebody asked me, so now that you have done events like the Mute Mile, when are you going to bring back the Diamond Mile and other events? Because we need a big event every quarter. So what I will tell you is that this event will fit within the third quarter of the racing calendar. So our first quarter is the Georgia Sang meet that is happening now, that goes from January to March. The next quarter is the Pickens, Linval, sorry, I know Mas Pickens, Linval McFarlane, you know, another Hall of Famer. The second quarter, which is April to June, is the Linval Pickens. And then in the third quarter, we're going to have the Eros quarter, and that is when the Diamond Mile will be reinstated. As you know, everything is very fluid, and just like when you're preparing a horse and you're preparing to run a big race, you're trying to find that right spot. So our next announcement, we will go into details on the exact date, but I can tell you that it will be somewhere early July. There are some other, as the Vice Chairman said, there are some other announcements to be made based on the relationship and the initiative, because we have been going end to end to find where the gaps are in racing. And even though we have some fun conversations, we do actually have a great relationship with the Jamaica Racing Commission, and even with going back and forth to try and find a spot for this, it wasn't easy, because you have to sort of shift around schedules. But we'll be having a big Grade 1 event in the third quarter. It will be a Mute Mile qualifier. It will be for a big purse. All of those details will be told in the next sitting. But you want to go into some of the details of the previous conditions? Okay. So the conditions may change, but it will be a condition race. It will be a Grade 1 race. And there's more announcements that will be made in short order with regards to the 3-year-old category for this year. So I'd like to thank everybody for coming out today. Are there any questions from the floor? Or as usual, the floor wants to pull us one away to have their questions. So we did a great job at doing everything this morning, so there are no questions. Pardon? The purse money will be significant. The purse money is very attractive, and with all the different changes that we've made to the racing calendar, we do have a very vibrant Grade 1 category right now. A lot of horses have been imported, and we also want to thank the Jamaica Racing Commission, its commissioners, its former commissioners, for all the work that they would have done behind the scenes. Because if you remember, around about 2021, there was an initiative from the government which would have been initiated through the ranks of the Jamaica Racing Commission to open up and form the removal of GCT so we can have more horses to stimulate our industry. That has proven to be very successful, and I think with all of those initiatives, we've found ourselves in a good position to be able to reintroduce a race like this. When the Diamond Mile was introduced, it was to stimulate, bring overseas horses. Notwithstanding, Mr. Smith's horse won the first 2 legs of the Diamond Mile and had a short career even as a stallion. Yes, so it's to stimulate, not just to bring in imported horses, but we've never had a foreigner. We've never had a foreigner to win the Diamond Mile. So that will prove very interesting, and let's see if history repeats itself and we have another local bred winning what would be a significant purse in July. Overseas? All of those details are to come, and when you do introduce a big race like this on the calendar, it does open up for those things to happen. This race will fall right after the running of the American Triple Crown. So the riders tend to be available between then. In that period, it might fall during Saratoga, so it might compete against a big race in Saratoga. So who knows? But Jamaica is a fun place. Jamaica racing is fun. When I go overseas now, the kind of feedback that I get because of our nice, clear signal, and thanks to my team present, the nice, clear signal that we present overseas, and the fun package that we have. We don't necessarily follow all traditions, and I think that's one of the things that makes us Jamaicans unique, and that's why people from all walks of life, want to embrace our culture, and we carry our culture forward in racing. So, there's following the status quo, and then there's being Jamaican. So there were questions. I'm sorry, Oral. Any more questions? All right. I'm sure there'll be private questions after. So, as we said, we like to keep it short and sweet. We want to all get back to our stables. So thank you very much for showing up this morning. And there'll be a lot more exciting announcements to happen in the racing fraternity coming up very soon. Thank you. Thank you.